Mambo ni haya.
Tumewadia. Ama tumefika.
Tumewadia.
Kuwadia ni
kufika.
Ni muda umewadia.
Arrive. We just arrive.
Na ukienda unadodomea.
Oh, that is it?
Udodomea.
Okay.
Muda wetu unadodomea.
Learn something new every day.
Wacha ni dodomea.
Na leo nilisema, mkiniuliza nikwaje, nilizani nikwaje.
Ukwaje.
Swadakta. So lazima tumemsamia.
Swadakta. Safi, wewe unasema kama kichuna. Swadakta mpenzi mtazamaji.
Ati nini film? Sijafanya nini?
Hujajitosa ulingoni.
Hujajitosa ulingoni. Ulingo wa siasa. Alijitosa kwenye maisha ya
anasa.
Enyewe tulikuwa tunaandika insha. Alijitosa kwenye maisha
ya anasa.
Na wanawake. I don't know why wanawake are always getting a bad rep.
By the way, we were just chilling.
It's like wanawake.
I saw people on Twitter are so funny. Someone wrote a thread on Twitter. Ati vile alikuwa anaandika insha alikuwa strict. Ukikunywa pombe unakufa.
Ukunywa pombe.
You're out.
Well, that's it. Maisha yako ndio hayo. Kunywa pombe kwanza inaenda kwa kujitosa. Kwenye hayo maisha ya anasa.
Na madawa ya kulevya. Don't do drugs, guys.
And everyone was just replying how they used to rate their intras so strictly. Ingine ilikuwa ukienda ngambo unapotea.
Ama ukienda mjini. Ukienda mjini ama ukienda ngambo unapotea.
Ugaibuni, yes. I don't know.
Unawasahau ndugu jamaa na wazazi.
Unaenda kabisa. I don't know what was it based on. It must have come from somewhere.
It's lessons also. Yeah. And so it's basically they are infusing the tahadharis of life in your daily living.
Yeah.
Tahadhari za maisha. Chunga sana maisha. Hayo.
Chunga maisha.
Chunga sana.
There's a song that's coming to mind.
Yeah.
I think it's either a Kikuyu song or they sing and then at some point they pause and say, Chunga maisha.
We sang it the other day, Dereva.
Yeah, Dereva.
Chunga maisha.
Chunga maisha. Hiyo ni kona. Hapana matiko kona. Chunga maisha.
I knew it was recently learned. It's a song that I recently learned kama ule mse wa mtumba.
Kasioki wa
mitumba.
Banga.
I'm learning new things.
Yeah. I hope hata niliadio Kasioki ya mitumba kwa my favorites. Yeah, nisisahau.
You know how they say, unapitishiwa ox. People are listening to like the cool beats of the day. Unapitishiwa ox. Uko, wasi, I don't think you want to listen to what I listen to. It's going to expose me.
That's me. That's, my friends who love kwanza uns. Mimi nikishika ox. Wakadinali Kasioki wa mitumba. Back to back.
But that's the music.
Vile inafaa. And I have no regrets. I'm teaching you people culture. Listen.
Speaking of uns, you see these guys who do the Kikuyu music events. So there are two big ones.
Folk fusion.
There's
Ngemi, and then there's the Kikuyu Love Sessions.
Yes.
Kikuyu Love Sessions, guys, I've seen they're doing a Kikuyu uns
stop.
gig.
Hey.
Kikuyu uns.
What?
For an entire event.
Kikuyu uns kuna ngoma
Is
ngapi?
it like Sofian Zao kind of?
I was about to say Mwakire.
Yeah.
Is that
Mwaki?
Because then that's the only one. Oh yeah, but there is
it's
like
only
that genre.
Yep.
Like, I discovered these things on TikTok. Like those guys who dance and it's like either Camaro, but remake of Camaro and the likes.
100%.
So they do a remix in the knee.
Yeah.
Skia.
Okay.
Hey, what? Hey.
They're calling it
See.
kikuns.
I love that. And there's actually a lot of these. When I think about it, kwanza covers,
I asked myself,
remixes.
but, I mean, can it sustain like 2 hours? Watch a 4, watch a 5.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and you know, unti just you've got to be at the same BPM.
Atupandi atushuki tuko tu hapa.
Maintain that tempo
Yes.
for like an entire night.
Yes.
We wait to see. Maybe
At
huko ndani
Kikuns.
watasema
Kikuns.
set. It was just this set that was for kikuns.
Aha.
Hizo zingine ni
Regular.
Yeah, regular.
Yeah.
But it's-
Kuna kitu anaita, you know, DJ Mura and Nes Mburu ndio wanafanya hii kitu.
Oh, DJ Mura. I've seen Mura the DJ
Same.
on a couple of, you know,
Sets.
Yeah, sets.
Ku hapa nje.
It's-
And the other person is?
The other person is Nes Mburu.
Nesmburu.
Ah.
Okay. I like kikuns.
Kikuns.
And you know it has the power, not the capability of inaweza songa
Yeah.
globally.
Yeah.
Become a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that Mwaki did the thing.
Yeah.
Yes, Mwaki ilifungua mlango and alafu watu wa uns they don't care about ati understand who.
No.
To be fair, all music people as long as they like it,
Yeah,
they do,
it's
it
the
doesn't
beat.
it doesn't
It's the
matter.
beat.
But for uns even more so.
Yeah.
I think sometimes if it's like a love song and it's in a different language, you might be like, well, it sounds like you're saying something nice, but
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lakini uns, that one guaranteed.
Guaranteed, yeah. It's you'll be there listening. I mean, it's music that traverses across the world.
It really does. Well,
Kikuns.
Mimi sijaielewa hiyo uns story, by the way. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day.
I realize my cup is like 2 hours. You said 2 hours because I enjoy it, but I can't do a full night.
No.
So I can do like 2 hours. After that, I'm like, atu change.
It's like just
That
give me
was
something.
late.
Atu oscillate.
Yeah,
Tuko tu hapa,
hapo.
tuko tu hapa. Tunaanza kileleni, tunamaliza kile.
Yeah. Give me something to dance to now. Like I want to
Flatlining.
dance.
Sayo, but the other thing is what to gonga steps. Hey, now go to 1 2
Yeah.
1 2 1
Hivyo
2.
tu. You don't realize.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's wild.
mko sawa kabisa.
Kufiti.
Power.
Hata mimi niko fiti. Jana we had last word.
Yes.
And we had a conversation around looking back into Olkalao. So you see this whole thing of Olkalao, Gachagua saying this was the people of Olkalao sending a message to William Ruto. Okay, we have no problem with Mushina and the other candidates. They are our people. The problem is with
William
William
Ruto.
Ruto. So the conversation was the Olkalao vote a reflection of the people's local choice or national choice, right? And is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Because I mean, they've said if Mbeere North was a national, if Vihiga and all the other by-elections have been national, is that good?
And
So
an indicator.
and when you go into the ballot next year, will you be voting a person because you think that this person is best suited for the position of MCA or MP or woman rep or governor or they are aligned?
In short,
True.
bado tunafanya 6 piece.
Yeah.
6 piece maneno.
Yes.
Who did you have in the room? Because
So we had a director of communications for UDA.
okay.
We had the head of policy for DCP and a room full of fixers. Some voter from Olkalao and other voters and aspirants. Yeah.
Okay.
And the
What was
conversation,
your
the main,
take
a
of it?
majority of the people were saying that was a reflection of national, the feeling about the national politics. And well, the UDA guy was saying not really, it was a balance of the two.
Okay.
But of course, at some point he would cross over and say, but you see, we have won 6. That tells you.
Okay.
So overall,
Yeah.
basically the whole room was saying this was a bigger
reflection
reflection
of
of
the
the
national.
national.
Okay.
Yeah, that they did the local when they did the nomination.
Okay.
And they have a history.
And when they did the nomination, they malized. Now, from there,
It was national.
you are
National.
Mushina, you are the UDA. You are
Godho.
Godho, you are DCP. And all the others, Nisawa. Now, we shall use this.
Okay. You actually sent, and the people of Olkalao are not new to shaking things up. Ulituma Taifa Leo ya tarehe 17 mwezi wa 5
Yeah.
mwaka wa 1995.
Wow.
The headline ya Taifa Leo, Moi aonja piripiri kipipiri / olkalao.
Hey, the copywriters have been doing the things.
You know, hawajaanza juzi.
Hawajaanza juzi.
Maneno haya si mageni jijini.
Oja piripiri kipipiri. Yeah, so the 95 by-election was that. It was KANU versus opposition. The opposition won the seat. And so it was actually the same conversation around then after that. And I brought it up yesterday. So the feeling was, this is a reflection of what's going to happen nationally. KANU is vanquished. KANU is out. Wasahawi maneno. And then I checked. So the 1997 election, when it happened,
Right.
kuliendaje?
Yeah.
Wacha nikuambie rafiki yangu.
Tuambie.
Uko tayari? Wakati uchaguzi wa mwaka wa 1997 ulipofanyika, matokeo yalienda hivi. Kulikuwa na 290 constituencies. Sawa? Kwa hizo 290 constituencies, unaona KANU has been vanquished. 107 KANU MPs were elected. 50%.
What? Okay.
The next highest was DP with 39. Then NDP with 21. Ford Kenya 17. SDP 15. Safina 5. Ford People 3. Shirikisho 1. Kenya Social Congress 1. Ford Asili 1.
Okay.
KANU 107.
107, 50%.
So was Kipipiri a reflection
Of the
of what
time.
was the things to come?
Not really.
Not really.
However, was 97 our first fully multi-party election?
It was the second.
92 was fully like
Yes.
still quite.
Yes, 92 was the first multi-party election. Yeah.
Okay. No, sasa sina excuse.
And how much has changed between
Done.
97 and now? Like, all factors considered.
Yeah, because I thought the repealing of Section 2 actually, but did people have time? That's why I'm saying fully.
People had time.
To like mobilize in 92.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hiyo same mwaka walitoa 2A ndio wakaingia election.
1992A was repealed. 1990.
Oh, not 92.
2 years later,
Sawa.
the election is held.
Sawa.
Opposition was united. Opposition broke apart. 2 years later, the opposition went into that election divided. They said, okay, no. Aki, the next one we must unite. They did not unite. 95 happens in between. Midterm.
Yeah.
This time.
This time, 97 happens. You can see
50%.
50%. 107 against the 39 that was for the highest opposition.
So mambo ya opposition unity si mambo ya juu. Like if you're going to unite, you had better unite. Yeah.
And that now was demonstrated in 2002.
2002, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, conversations the leo ni kadhaa. We start with the 7 a.m. At 7 o'clock, we are going to talk about agroforestry. Okay? So there's a new policy on agroforestry looking at encouraging farmers to have trees on their farms and also seeing how do we encourage more and more tree, not just planting, but tree growing.
Yeah.
And is there an ecosystem that can be created that then ensures that farmers see the direct benefit of actually having trees on their farms?
Right.
We're going to discuss that with George Tarus, who's the Secretary for Forest Development in, of course, the ministry that is in charge of environment and forestry and wildlife. Yes.
Right. Tutamuuliza maswali ya imendi.
Lazima.
Imendi.
He's the Secretary for Forestry.
Yes.
So, lazima tuulize mambo ya.
Imenti.
Yeah, and we had a story last night that actually they had called him. He spoke on the phone around the Imenti, and he's saying, first of all, for the airstrip is a necessary thing for
Emergencies.
for emergencies and such, just like we have airstrips in the national parks, airstrip, right? Now then the question was asked about the state lodge, and he was like, I am not aware
Miss
about
just
state
Keyo
lodge.
maneno.
Your story
Forest.
message.
So he'll come and tell us. Kwani unaishi nchi gani?
Hey.
Hi. At 8 a.m., we respond to we get the other side of yesterday's conversation with the JSC commissioner representing the LSK regarding matters strike. Leo, Wednesday, the 22nd of July, 2025, all lawyers around the country are essentially not going to court. They are not staying at home, either at home or in the office, but industrial action of a sort, complaining about many things in the judiciary, including what they call corruption corruption, and we'll talk about what that means for the many millions of cases that are, going in the pipeline, and the thousands that are meant to be had today, but also why the LSK feels it's important to rally like this against the judiciary, essentially. We'll be speaking to Charles Kanjama, president of the Law Society of Kenya, why lawyers are essentially boycotting courts today, what they feel is the issue with the judiciary. Is this corruption a new thing, or has it just become a problem now? Why now of all times? That would be my first question, actually, because we've been hearing about corruption in the judiciary forever, for eons.
Correct.
What's changed?
Yep.
It's cracking the whip right now.
Yep.
And yeah, that's going to be quite the conversation. In the 9 o'clock hour, we shift the conversation to matters public health and just, mambo ya mifugo na wanyama. When we hear animals and farm animals like cows and the like are becoming resistant to antibiotics, what does that mean for you and I in terms of, consumption of these products? It's like, what happens when we misuse veterinary medicine? Could be vaccines, could be antibiotics. Point is, how does that translate to, the direct effect that we have to deal with? And what are vets doing about it? How much sensitization is happening to those that are in that space, to those that have animals, to say that this is the proper use of veterinary medicines and improper use results to this? And just, again, what... Is it too late to reverse it? Because, when we have conversations around GMOs and whatnot, vis-a-vis now what's happening on the animal side, it's a very critical conversation to have right now. And we'll be having Dr. Peter Akunda, who's a veterinary surgeon, in the 9 o'clock hour.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
We had that conversation. We talked about it just very lightly. And when you think about, we'd lack a lot of standardization and quality control for so many things. Because essentially, if all meat that was eaten in Kenya, or most meat that was eaten in Kenya, went through a proper abattoir where you're also testing the nyama, then you can be able to tell if this has too much antibiotics, and then you start reversing that cycle, because if farmers know they have nowhere to sell their cows, their chicken, their pigs, but then the way we do things is very different. But pia mimi naweza fuga kuku zangu. What stops me? And then I pump them with antibiotics because taki wakufe wakiwa a few days old. Then
what happens?
What happens next?
It's actually easier to catch it on big livestock like cattle, because mostly the livestock is going to be slaughtered at a known abattoir, and it will be inspected by a veterinary doctor. Mostly. And if vets are actually now raising the concern, like every time we are checking this meat, we are finding kuna mambo, then it's an issue. It comes into extension services as well. Do we have sufficient extension services that at farmer level? So because then those extension officers would notice what are you giving your cows? And they start, stopping it at that level. There's a conversation I told you guys that we should have soon, and actually we'll have it soon, of cows that are given sick leave. By farmers somewhere. That idea has actually won a major international creative.
They won at Cannes.
Yes.
I think I saw something like that. I was like, cows on sick leave? They won actually, it's called the Grand Prix. They won the highest prize.
At Cannes.
At Cannes. And I think we should have those guys. What is it that's actually happening? Cows get sick leave.
Cool. Honestly, what an idea. Iconic. All right. Today's quote is actually courtesy of a man that won a Nobel. He's a Nobel laureate. Is it? On a Nobel laureate in literature back in 1927. His name is Henry Bergson. And the quote reads, "The consequence of every act is included in the act itself."
The consequence of every act is included in the act itself.
Nipe example.
So every decision that you make kind of already carries its future in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever it is that you're doing, the consequences
is already
already in it.
Are right there.
Yeah, you cannot separate the two.
Okay. Sawa.
So if you choose to put antibiotics in your chicken, the consequences are in that very
Right.
act. If you choose to go and deforest to build an airstrip or a state lodge, the consequences
Are in that.
are inside there. Even
Inside.
with what the lawyers are doing today, the consequences are right there.
Very true.
And I feel like today we're having a conversation of consequences on a lot of things.
Oh, that's very true. Okay. Tuingia magazetini. Kama kawaida tunaanza na Taifa Leo
Kwa habari na makala moto moto.
Haya. Tuko paradiso lakini ni ya wahuni.
Wow.
Okay. Katika miaka ya hivi karibuni, makundi ya vijana wenye silaha yamekuwa yakihusishwa na uvamizi wa hospitali, kufurusha familia kutoka nyumba zao, kutoa majengo ya biashara na kuzuia utekelezaji wa amri halali za mahakama, huku serikali ikifumbia macho uhuni huo. Na kuna picha hapo ya mhuni akiwa amebeba jiwe kwenye barabara ya Moi Avenue wakati wa maandamano yaliyozuka kufuatia kifo cha mwanablogu wa Kenya Albert Ojwang. Kuna picha wengine waumini watawanyika baada ya wahuni kuvamia kanisa la Witima ACK Othaya pale Nyeri tarehe 25 mwezi wa Januari. Kuna picha hapa ya Dina Watora. Na ni kilio kwa Dina Watora baada ya nyumba yake kubomolewa eneo la kambi Nyasi pale Eldoret. Makazi yake yalibomolewa na wahuni wanaodaiwa kutumwa na viongozi wa kanisa ambao wanadai umiliki wa sehemu ya ardhi hiyo. So it seems everyone is weaponizing goons. We said politicians, now the church too. Apparently the church is claiming ownership of this plot of land where she's living or squatting, we're not sure. And then they send goons to just demolish everything. Other headlines. About tani ya Gachagua ya koroga DCP. Wanaosaka tikiti ya chama wahofia huenda walio wa waaminifu pekee wakanufaika. Waaminifu kwa nani?
Only the loyalists will benefit.
Alafu hapa chini magavana wateua warithi wao wa 2027. Baadhi ya magavana wanaokamilisha mihula yao miwili wameanza kuandaa warithi kwa maslahi ya kibinafsi. Is it?
Tunajuaje ni maslahi ya kibinafsi?
But is it inheritance that you're giving to the next person? Where are the voters in this story? Haya, habari njema ya Rais Ruto kwa wanavyuo, and that's also on the front page of the Daily Nation. We'll talk about it. Wanafunzi watakaofuzu kujiunga na vyuo vikuu nchini kupata ufadhili kamili wa masomo. So essentially, higher education funding not working, an admission. That's the real about tani.
The formula there is not working. Haya.
Makaribisho ya kishujaa Uhispania. Kikosi kilichotoa kombe la dunia chapokelewa na maelfu jiji kuu la Madrid. I saw the caravan where the people showed up.
Proper. Millions. Millions of people. I know the temperatures at that time of the year in that city high.
So hot.
People are there in plus 30, 32, 35 degrees.
35? Oh man, okay.
Beautiful scenes.
Okay, a lot of the stories we covered yesterday. Kenya yageuzwa ngome ya wahuni. We spoke about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Also, LSK kutaja majaji 12 na hakimu moja wakususiwa na mawakili. We also spoke about that. Let's talk about zawadi nono hili la Ruto kwa wanavyuoni. Wanafunzi wote uni ukurasa wa 3 actually. Wanafunzi wote watakaofuzu kujiunga na vyuo vikuu nchini watapata ufadhili kamili wa masomo kutoka kwa serikali iwapo pendekezo jipya la ufadhili wa elimu juu litapitishwa na bunge. Rais Ruto alitangaza hatua hiyo Jumanne katika Ikulu, akisema serikali imewasilisha mapendekezo ya marekebisho ya sheria yatakayowezesha kila mwanafunzi anayefaulu mtihani wa kitaifa na kupata nafasi ya elimu ya juu kufadhiliwa kikamilifu bila kujali hali ya kifedha ya wazazi wake. So means testing out the window.
Yeah.
Essentially, is this free higher education?
It's not. It's still a loan. Again, I'm not even sure that means testing is also out of the window.
Okay.
Because there's still, the determination of how much is the government sponsoring, and then the rest now comes from what we are removing, in my understanding, is the out-of-pocket requirement.
Okay.
So there'll be a sponsorship element, and then the rest will now be through the loan,
Help.
through the help. So out-of-pocket is now what is. So you may choose to just take a smaller loan and pay the rest out of pocket, or you may choose to take the full loan and then you'll pay the loan later. But I am not sure that the proposal that will go to Parliament will have a fixed sponsorship and a fixed loan. Maybe it will be varying on depending on now the need.
Okay. I mean, let's actually listen in, because I think that bite of the president speaking at State House is ready, and maybe we can get a little more insight into how exactly university funding will look.
Yeah.
We have incidences, for example, where a child from an underprivileged family who qualifies to do medicine fails to do medicine because their parents cannot afford to pay the household contribution and have to change to go and do a different course. We want to stop that. And I want to implore on Parliament to expedite the amendments to the Higher Education Loans Board so that beginning September, any university, any student, so long as they have passed their exam and they have been placed in a college or a university, each one of them will get full funding for their higher education. We tried the differentiated model. I think the vice chancellors here know it didn't work because it made most of our universities almost close down. Because while we promised 80% funding, we went down to 40%, and most universities suffered. It will be the choice of parents if they want to pay. But if parents don't want to pay, we now have a model that will pay for every child.
Okay, I get what you were saying, Eric. Although now I don't know, where the choice comes in. So we're not testing your means and determining how much you should pay as a result. What we're doing is giving you the option to either pay the full cost, a portion of, and so on and so forth, and take the rest as loan. Kila mtu atachukua loan. But I mean, this is good news. The fact that we are admitting that our funding model for higher education was not working. I mean, we've sat down with young people here multiple times, held a whole baraza on it, and they're just telling you this doesn't work. So this is good news.
However, if you look at this story, it appears like many people were just caught off guard by the president's brilliant idea. Suddenly. Because this story is quoting the PS for Higher Education, Dr. Beatrice Inyangala. Alisema pendekezo hilo bado linashughulikiwa kabla ya kuwasilishwa rasmi kwa wadau na bunge. Bado tunalifafanua na kulikamilisha. Ni mchakato unaohitaji muda. As a few saying, by the way, I didn't know. Mwenyekiti wa kamati ya makamu wakuu wa vyuo vikuu vya umma Profesa Daniel Mugendi pia alisema bado hajapokea maelezo kamili ya mfumo huo. Ananukuliwa here, hatujapata maelezo ya kina. Yakikamilika, tutashirikishwa kwa majadiliano zaidi.
Everybody is surprised. And therein is a problem because, realistically, on paper, is it possible to actually fully fund?
And that's a good question.
That's a good question. Actually, and I was actually thinking about this over the weekend. On HELB, how much cash does HELB disburse for loans every year versus how much do they receive in repayments? If you think about the percentage of about the 200,000 or so university students who get into university every year, right? And let's even say add, another 100,000 who are in colleges who may also be getting funding. Let's say 300,000 people are actually getting funding every year throughout the period in school.
Right.
How of those 300,000, after they finish receiving, how soon do they start repaying? Let's say 20% will start repaying within the first 5 years. Out of those 20%. How many are consistently repaying? You know, so does HELB have sufficient
Float.
to
I know
actually
they had
lend?
flagged it as an issue, and they'd given their numbers in terms of outstanding, and the fact that a requirement like a HELB clearance was put as part as people's applications
For government jobs.
Yeah, for government jobs. It's just again to curb that whole.
Do you need a clearance like umemaliza kulipa loan ama unalipa?
To show at
show
least
that
unalipa
Unalipa.
Yeah.
Okay,
ama
that makes
umemaliza.
sense. Okay.
But a HELB clearance. Okay. As we go on a break, mnakumbuka ile habari ya walimu na the increments
Yes.
hapo chini wamekataa. Wamesema ni kidogo.
Wamesema CBA is not according to CBA.
Ajira ya CBA ya miaka 2025 to 2029 wakisema ni ndogo mno, wala haiendani na gharama ya maisha inavyozidi kupanda.
Sasa hawa ni walimu ama ni viongozi wa walimu?
Hawa ni
Walimu. Inasema walimu.
Tume ya ni walimu.
Yes. Okay, I'm seeing there's a corporate boss here who's from Vihiga who's been quoted saying it's not factored in cost. The high cost of living.
Haijafikisha hapo. Haya, Bitaifa ni Regina Waweru ndiye mwenye bahati leo. Bi Regina, mkazi wa jijini Nairobi, ni mfanyabiashara na urabu wake ni kucheza netiboli, kusafiri na kusoma.
Nice. All right. Ningesema Kabro ni ya Nakuru, lakini I'm wrong.
Inakaa Nakuru.
Inakaa Nakuru,
Lakini umesema ni?
Ni wa Nairobi. Ni mkazi wa jijini Nairobi.
Okay.
Nairobi County. Haya, tuchukue breaki. We'll be right back to look at the Business Daily, Daily Nation and stories from last night. This is Fixing the Nation, one conversation at a time.
What's up, nation? My name is Beryl from Busia County, and I'm fixing the nation by focusing on regeneration and sustainability, on simple actions like conserving water, urban gardening, and recycling. And that's how we fix it, fixers.
Thank you so much, Beryl. Thank you for that wonderful What's Up Nation video. Watu wa Busia, I hope you feel well represented. Of course, sustainability is the name of the game. Asante for sending the video. Make sure you can send yours as well. Now, I'm not talking to Beryl. Naongea na wewe. Our number is 0769590762. 0769590762. Tell us who you are, where you are, and how you're fixing the nation. We'll be more than happy to share in the next hour ama kesho.
Mafixers tuwasalimie hapa. Tuanza na Njenga Njogu. Jamani, mbona nahisi kama mmechepua Kiswahili? Kuwadia nadhani ni kitu kisicho hai, vilivyo hai vinawasili. Muda unawadia. Tangible and intangible.
Yes.
Sawa. So si wati Ferrari zamewadia.
Muda umewadia.
Ferrari zamewasili. Muda Ferrari kuwasili umewadia. Sawa basi. Haya. Wadia tumia kwa saa, matukio ama siku. Sawa, asante Njenga. And also reminds me, I think I said 290, but in my head I was saying in 1997 there were 210 constituencies. And that's how the KANU got 50%
The
of that.
50%. I've actually figured, 100 and something, 107, right?
Yes. Roger Nyange, good morning from Birikani Voi. Good morning, Fixers, Tibbs Muge, Charles Opil, Pauline Njoroge amewaacha Uhuru na Fred Matiang'i mataa. Ameingia box ya Edwin Sifuna na Babu Owino. Linda Mwananchi. Okay? Watu wanauliza, lakini honestly, what value does Pauline Njoroge add to any side? Amos Kimutai anauliza hilo swali. The fact that she has been on the sides means that they find value. All right? Charles Ndogo, Eric, I was there and voted for the first time in that year, 1997. There's a whole lot of difference between then and now. The main one being awareness, enlightenment, and then this 50+1 condition, 25%, blah, blah, blah. So it's not just a simple, but you see, we're talking about the number of seats in parliament. Number of seats in parliament is not 50% or anything.
No.
It is how many people will elect a UDA MP. How many will elect an opposition, Wiper, DCP, PLP,
Linda Mwananchi MP in the next election, who will have the majority in parliament. G. Commando, when the president was speaking of dealing with goons, did he look serious? Like more serious than when he pledged to stop abductions? We joke too much in this country.
Yo. Mbona umesema
Ni kama
kweli?
alisikiza Eric jana asubuhi pia.
Yeah.
Because Eric alisema president akiongea labda kitu itafanyika.
Although I actually was looking at the president speaking, and my interpretation of what he was saying is not what is being taken actually. That he now gave the marching orders and told the police, do your job, like you were saying. I think he was saying when there were demonstrations, there were people who were demonstrating, and then there were people who came to loot. And when police acted, people were like, no. I mean, stop acting on it. These are our children. Then it happened again. They started now burning shops. And people said, no. These are our children. Now, this last time, people were clear that we do not want demonstrations and goons. You know? So now that we are all having the same consensus that goons are bad, now police, do your job.
I found that to be a little
My interpretation of it is not this one. He's saying,
Maybe to
maandamano, goons, same was up,
Same was
police, do your job.
Ebu nisikie yo.
Endo sikize
I'll
tena.
I'll listen
Always
word
kidding
for. Let me just listen again because nilisikia in passing genuinely, like something.
Just a
is-
small bite of
in
him
the
saying, police,
background.
do your job.
do your job. So let me listen to the full thing and in context.
Yeah.
Ndio
utakuwa na maoni.
nikuwe na maoni for now.
Tuachie hapo. Silvano Karaoke anasema hapo kwa hesabu Silvano, it was 210. It was my mistake. I should have said 210, not 290. Stephen Kosira, when the waitress asked if I wanted my pizza cut into 4 or 8 slices, I said 4. I don't think I can eat 8. Enter sababu, okay.
Even ntatumaliza fixes.
Wow.
Ni kama ukiuliza mtu which is heavier, a kg of stones or a kg of cotton.
Hey, it sounds.
Stones.
They have the same mass, but not the same weight. G. Kimando, that consequences talk reminds me of Mariam's favorite pastor, the one of Neno, talking of consequences. We have seen and heard things in this country. When are we going to serve for a service, Mariam?
Ni uni
Vaa
Kanga.
balaklava.
Sasa shida ni
Jipake tu vipo. Ongea na Beth. Beth can do some nice work on your face beats,
By the way.
where you actually now look like Ferraris.
Beth nakam after show we discuss this to vile uta make me look like someone different niende service ya Pastor Nganga. Thanks.
Brigadier Maina, nikikumbuka in 6 months time alafu tena amesema atafadhali wanafunzi wa vyuo vikuu. I won't be surprised come October and we witness nationwide strike over claims of delayed funding for universities by the government. All right. Opio Polycarp, the government that allocates 93 bob per learner per term is now promising free university for Kenyans. By the way, who raised the cost of higher education? Higher? Charles is back. When did lying become so fashionable in Kenya? The lies have reached such a level that we have become immune. As in, you hear a lie, it just sounds like another statement.
It doesn't even shock you.
Nikaa tu kuuliza mtu, how are you? Anakujibu, I'm fine. You didn't even hear the I'm fine.
Yeah.
It just went over your head. In one ear, out the other.
Yeah. Collins Kimtai, whose responsibility is it to restore our forests? It's the community. Is it the community or the government? The community at Kitani location in Elgeyo Marakwet is demonstrating that. Against the community should be consulted before the fencing of the forests. The community should be consulted before fencing of the forest in Elgeyo Marakwet.
So they're demonstrating against the fencing.
The fencing.
The fencing.
Fencing off the forest.
All right.
Okay, Opio is back. The government is fond of creating problems, then later sounding creative by coming up with solutions. Sifu Nation is taking notes. Sifuna Nation. Sifu Nation. Okay. Tom Kahigo, you'll be mean tested, after which, if your parents do not wish to pay the determined amount, you can take a loan. The Kombe has checked in heavily and he has repaid his help. Spain have $50 million prize money for the World Cup. That $50 million is the same amount of money lost on the recent ghost workers scandal. 6 billion shillings. Donge. 6 billion shilling prize money. Eish. Don't support the mongrel in the house. Tutafanya mongrel baadaye. Wacha tumalizie. Atieno Jermaine Jackson, we had 210 constituencies as of the Lancaster Constitution, repealed by 2010 Constitution. Yes. Charles O'Peel, 5 public universities are technically insolvent. The Treasury is running on loans. Where and how will the government of this Republic of Kenya fund this new directive? Help loan book makes the Bible look like a chapter.
Defaulters.
H. Matende, we praise Mariam and Felaris for their screen prowess and forget about Eric. Aki, I don't know. Actually, is it not, let me finish this first.
Yes.
Allow me to laud his indefatigable indefatigable spirit as a fixer. His mastery of content is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Agreed.
Receive your flowers.
Aki tupeangi Eric flowers.
You know,
Mimi hata
from
sionange
today.
mkipewa flowers nyinyi. Sijui
No, even tunanga occasional flowers. Namanga pia zako occasional. So, ni kama to watch kila mtu ape flowers.
Kila
But yes,
mtu.
Eric,
Flowers.
absolutely
Yeah.
indefatigable. What? Spirit as a
Spirit.
fixer,
Yeah.
and your mastery of content is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Hiyo ni
Facts.
nini? Charles Kamau, USA is a declining party. I think you meant UDA. And Nams, good morning. In 6 months' time, I'll need to go back to school.
In 6 months' time.
Don Sabwa, the mongrel in the house is leadership by example, hence subversion of the constitution and proponent of immunity and illegality. I think he means impunity. In Malawi, by example, we say mwachitsanzo. Mwachitsanzo.
Mwachitsanzo.
By
By
example.
example.
By example.
You lead mwachitsanzo.
You lead
Yes.
mwachitsanzo by example.
Beautiful.
Business Daily pale.
Aha, na nimeangalia hapo minini hiyo jina
Indefatigable.
Yes, it's persisting tirelessly.
Persisting tirelessly.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
And someone who has endless energy.
Bas, ndio hiyo.
Okay, Business Daily. Very quickly, Citibank seeks to block DCI probe of Kenya CEO. Investigators seek details of a 261 million loan deal, and the US bank gets interim court order halting the MD's grilling. And that story continues on page 2. On Matters Property, Mogoko's in talks to sell 9 billion waterfront Karen Mall. And that's a family of the late billionaire poultry farmer Nelson Mogoko. They're selling the waterfront Karen Mall in Nairobi in a multi-billion shilling deal, marking a pivot from real estate. Tika headlines, Nairobi County has been locked out of the latest round of 5.7 billion World Bank funded conditional grants to devolved units after failing to meet reform targets tied to the financing. That's on page 4. Page 5, money sent home by Kenyans living and working abroad recorded its steepest first half decline since the aftermath of the 2008 global financial crisis, reflecting the impact of the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East and a new US tax on outbound money transfers and tighter labor policies in Saudi Arabia. I think we touched on this yesterday. On page 6, the number of banks cutting PesaLink fees has nearly doubled to 19 as lenders roll out free transfers of up to 1,000 shillings and a flat charge of 20 shillings on larger transactions to attract retail payment flows. That's on page 6, like I mentioned. On the intelligence section, we have an article by Ndirito Mureithi, and today is on why dead cat strategy is bad for Kenya. Politics must go beyond name calling, solve problems, and improve living standards that seem unattainable.
You know the dead cat strategy?
What's the dead cat strategy?
So dead cat strategy, you're at a table and you're discussing something, right? And you're out there now debating with your colleagues at the table. And then you notice that you're losing the debate.
Okay.
What do? You need to distract these people. You pick a dead cat from under the table and place it on the table. Pa! People now start like, what's that? What's that? It's a cat. It's dead. Oh my God, it's smelling. How did the cat die? Who brought it here? So the whole conversation now focuses on the dead cat.
It steers off completely.
Wow. So Kenya is just one big dead cat strategy. Oh my gosh.
You know what? One day I'll try and actively apply that in a random conversation. Just bring a dead cat into it. And on the live section, we, of course, are still treading on the whole top 40, under 40, and some of the ladies that were featured there on the rules we broke to succeed. High-flying young women on carving their own path.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Beautiful.
And one that we hosted here. Jerop Limo. Okay. I have lovely scenes.
Lovely. The Daily Nation has on the front page a story that is really, it's not new, and I don't know whether it's about to end. Poison Love Gang on the run. Deadly trio. Police believe the gang of 3 could be behind more drink lacing cases. In 5 days, two men were drugged as they sipped their favorite drinks in bars 28 kilometers apart within the Nairobi metropolitan area and robbed of 800,000 shillings. Edgar Mokua, a 53-year-old quantity surveyor, was found dead hours after leaving a club accompanied by a woman. As an investigation into his mystery death got underway, another man reported losing cash after a night out with a woman. The face captured on CCTV was familiar to detectives. There's a suspect here, a screen grab of CCTV footage showing a woman who left a bar in Lavington in the company of Edgar Mokua on the 7th of July. Police believe that she and her 2 accomplices steal from unsuspecting patrons. And then there's a photo here of the victim, Edgar Mokua, who's a father of 2, who had spent time in a bar with a woman police believe spiked his drink on the 7th of July. His body was found in Roysambu on the following day, hours after he sent 300,000 to the mystery woman now being sought by police. Imagine.
Wow. That's
So this thing of Pishori babes has been there for a long time, and it continues. And the question is, what is this thing and how do they actually access these pills that they use to lace our drinks, right? How tight is our pharmaceutical space that people are able to get this kind of poison?
Can I tell you the scary thing?
Yeah.
It's already scary enough happening, for example, in bars and clubs and entertainment spaces. It's way outside that. It's now gone into gig-based, right? Or for whatever it is. Calling them for a gig. Oh, you're a director, you're a videographer, you're a photographer, you're this. Then unakunywa tu, someone offers you water and a glass of water or juice or chai or anything. Next thing you know, your equipment is gone. Like, how they access this, you're right, is the really big question.
Actually, I think I've heard of such kind of someone calls you to their home, come and take photos of me and my family at home. So you come with all your equipment. Kumbe, first of all, it's a rented short-term apartment.
Yes.
And so they rob you and they leave. You wake up, you find yourself in this B&B. Now, the other stories on the front page is Ruto's U-turn on the university model. Teachers saying they're unhappy with the pay increase that was announced by TSC recently. And we are starting serializing a book by Professor Stephen Magazetini, who is a former vice-chancellor of the University of Nairobi. He has written a book, Dancing with the Devil. Wow. That's his autobiography. He's actually a very good storyteller, Professor Kema. Very, very good storyteller. Should have you one of these days. Now, there's a story as well on what happened in the case of Albert Ojwang, and it was in court yesterday. It was day 2 of 3 days of the hearing of this particular case on the murder of Albert Ojwang in court. Justice Diana Kavedza, who's presiding over this trial, yesterday heard from IPOA, and an IPOA investigator who came and was explaining what was happening in the sequence of CCTV footage that they recovered. We had an entire package that we aired on NTV last night, and we want to air it like that, so that because it explains what is happening sort of like blow by blow with what we're seeing on the screen. So let's watch that.
My lady, I have a 10 years experience as a forensic.
Appearing before the court, Joshua Mutua, head of forensics at IPOA, told the court forensic investigators recovered 489 gigabytes of CCTV footage from cameras installed throughout Central Police Station.
The CCTV at the Central Police Station was working before it was interfered with.
According to IPOA, the CCTV shows officers moving in and out of the OCS office throughout the evening with former OCS Samson Talam, Inspector Samuel Nganga, PC James Muhwana, PC Peter Kimani, and Officer Evelyn Kanyiri appearing repeatedly. At 9:23 p.m., Albert Ojwang arrives at the station in a black SUV vehicle accompanied by 6 men. He is seen talking on his mobile phone before being escorted to the reporting office, where he remains for about 15 minutes. Moments later, PC Muhwana, one of the accused, and PC Kimani join him. Senior Sergeant Stephen Sigei is seen making phone calls before handing his phone to Muhwana, who briefly speaks to someone. The CCTV becomes critical from 10:25 p.m. when Muhwana, with an unidentified man who had a goatee beard, Rimandi John Gige, and another man wearing a Maasai shuka are repeatedly captured moving around the cell block, identified as the crime scene. Investigators say the group appears to avoid CCTV cameras while remaining around the cells for several minutes. Between 10:43 p.m. and 10:46 p.m., John Gige and the man in the Maasai shuka, who is still unidentified, are seen moving from the last cell towards the prisoner processing area before Muhwana and others rush back into the same cell. At 10:56 p.m., John Gige emerges from the alleged crime scene with what appears to be blood on one hand while holding a dark cloth in the other. Brian Murioki is seen carrying what appears to be a belt as Muhwana walks away from the area looking down. At 12:54 a.m., former OCS Samson Talam, Inspector Nganga, and 3 other officers walk to the crime scene before leaving shortly afterwards. Then at 1:20 a.m., 4 police officers wearing blue gloves are captured carrying what IPOA describes as a lifeless body, with Samson Talam allegedly leading them. The officers briefly stop at the prisoner holding area before loading the body into a police vehicle, which drives away from Central Police Station. The CCTV footage is now a key pillar of the prosecution's case. The trial resumes Wednesday as the defense prepares to challenge the forensic evidence during cross-examination.
Okay. And from the sketch, we will safely assume that is the legend marked C1R.
So there it is. I mean, IPOA has presented their case. This is what we see happening. This is where Ojwang is. These people go, these people come out, and then we see a lifeless body getting out. So who do we place at the scene of crime?
Very valid questions.
Yeah.
It's incredibly hard to watch. I don't know. The callousness with which we treat human life sometimes really worries me. I would like to see justice for Albert Ojwang, for many other Kenyans, and for Albert Ojwang.
Yeah. The trial continues today, and let us hope that this one, justice actually is served properly and fully.
Yeah.
Right? Ili iwe funzo pia that mkono wa sheria ni mrefu, utakushika. Now, IPOA, if you can actually do this, that means you can do very many others.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, because of the number of times that we're told people have died in police custody. IPOA can therefore take such cases to court and pursue them through the DPP. All right, case continues today. We'll have an update on what happens today, tomorrow. It's coming up to 7 a.m. In the next hour, we talk about forests. So how do we actually make trees valuable for us? Not just planting trees and growing trees in forests, but how can I just plant a tree and know where to sell it? Na serikali kuja sema ati we have closed, we have banned logging. Now what shall I do? Nimejaza miti kwa shamba. The Secretary for Forestry joins us next. Keep it here at 7 a.m.